Weekend is over, done with. Monday down and out of the way. Praise God. 4 more days. 4 more days. 4 more days to the weekend. But anywho, so this past weekend, what did we do? Let's see. We traveled to Lynchburg, Tennessee on Saturday morning. Me and Irvin got up about 7. Well, I was already up because I had to go take my daughter to work. But anyway, got home about 8 o'clock. Got ready, went to Lynchburg, Tennessee, 4 hours away. So we jumped in a Slingshot and took off. So all the while I'm thinking, because I know we've had these pop-up bad storms and showers, what have you. So, hey, did you check the weather forecast? Because I didn't. Oh, yeah, it's fine. You know, here it's probably like a 20% chance, 15% chance of rain in the evening. And so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay. But, you know, you always be prepared if you ever have ridden or do ride motorcycles. I'm always prepared. So I got my 3/4 quarter, I think, helmet. Of course, we always have the rain gear in the back. And, you know, just prepared. Light showers, drizzle, fine, no problem. We push through till we ride out of it or until we get home, whichever comes first. Yeah, check out the end of the video to see what happened with the weather. Very interesting. But anyway, we traveled to Lynchburg, Tennessee to the Jack Daniel Distillery. This would be our 4th time going, I believe. But the tours were free. Now you have to pay. $15, I think, is the cheapest one. They're all about an hour and a half long walk-in tours where they walk you around the distillery and tell you about everything, the whole process. Then there's the, I think we did like the Angel something tour. It's $20. It's a tasting tour. So at the end, we got to taste 5 different 5 different kinds of, I think they were all single barrel whiskeys. And I'm not a drinker, but I mean, it's kind of interesting to taste them, and they tell you, you know, how to do it where you taste the different flavors, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting. So we did a Tennessee Gold, which is exclusive to Tennessee only. At the distillery, it's $100. I think Urban said that a friend of his bought some in Gatlinburg and it was $113. So it's quite expensive, but that one's an exclusive. We did a Sinatra. So Frank Sinatra does have a Jack Daniel whiskey. An interesting thing about him, because you know you can buy those Jack Daniel barrels, you could tell Frank Sinatra's whiskey was in it because it was one that had his whiskey in it, because on the inside of the barrel it scored. I didn't get any pictures or video of that, but they had a piece of the barrel, but it scored on the inside. So they're all kind of dark, almost a black color on the inside, but then it's like scored. So that's how you can tell that's an exclusive Frank Sinatra. So if you find one like that, get it. They're rare, hard to find. So now during the tour, they have incorporated in where they talk about Nathan Green, or Nearest Green, and I think Nearest was his nickname, but Nathan Green is a slave that actually taught Jack Daniel how to make whiskey, how to make alcohol. So he was actually the first master distiller of Jack Daniel. So that has been incorporated in. He's got a place on the wall in the distillery in the main building, where you go and buy your tickets, and they have some other artifacts and things in there to see. But thumbs up to Jack Daniel for incorporating that in to tell that story. Let's see, they've got his house or the office in there that the original office that he worked out of. There's a safe in there, and they tell you the story about, and I didn't get that part either. We've been so many times that I'm so kind of used to hearing some of the stuff that I didn't think about getting it. But there's a safe in there, and the story behind the safe is that his family member, I can't remember if it's cousin or who it is, it's a relative, but he didn't have any children, but he was the one that used to come in first, open the safe, and da 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 da. Well, one morning Jack came in early, tried to open the safe, couldn't, got mad, kicked it, gangrene set in, so they cut the toe, then the foot, then the leg, and that's how Jack Daniel ended up dying from complications from him kicking the safe. So they always say, so what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is don't go into work early or you might die. It'll kill you. So I thought that was kind of funny. But also you'll see as we're driving into the distillery, some of the houses and the signs around there they have a black color, and also some pictures of the trees that's on the property that are black. And the reason that they are black and they have this black coating on it is a fungus, and it's the ethanol that's reacting to whatever this fungus is, and it turns everything black. It's very interesting to see, and it's so funny because the tree bark is black but the leaves are green. And one girl asked, are y'all hurting the trees? And he was like, do they look like they're hurting? Look how green they are. So yeah, but it's very interesting. If you get a chance to go to Lynchburg, Tennessee, go to the Jack Daniel Distillery. I would recommend the tasting tour. And like I said, I'm not a drinker, but I would recommend that because that's the only way that I think you would get the full effect of the distillery, because you get to taste those. And this time we also did get a souvenir glass to take home. And then you, of course, can go into the store afterwards, or you can actually go in there without having to do the tour if you want to buy alcohol. But Lynchburg is a dry town, so a dry county. You can't buy alcohol in Lynchburg, Tennessee, but you can go into the store at the Jack Daniel Distillery and you can buy the alcohol there. So, but yeah, check the video out. Hit the like and subscribe button. Got some RV stuff coming up. I was a little disappointed this weekend. I'm kind of frazzled because I found out that the RV that I was looking at, that I was leaning more toward, is got a somebody's working a deal out on it. So I kind of freaked out a little bit about that, but I said, you know what, I'm just gonna throw it to up in the air, give it to God. Whatever happens, happens. If when I'm ready to buy, if it's still there, then I'll get it. That's great. But if not, no worries. I'll get something else. So, like I said, I don't want to rush into anything. We're going to look at one next week, next Friday, probably Thursday or Friday, somewhere around in there in Florida. So, it is what it is. But hit the like, subscribe button, and we appreciate you, and we'll catch you at the next video. Hope everybody have a good week. maybe used to. You got it? Mm-hmm. One of those,
What? It's $10.
$10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not bad, not $10.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Daniel coffee. Which one?
The big one, right there. I wanna have his own little display, flat black. Then I'll have all my Jack Daniel stuff on my spot.
See it?
Oh.
Moonshine fudge, chocolate bacon. Remember when you had that chocolate bacon?
Again.
Don't play with it. What it smell like? Huh?
That's a big difference. Smell this. It's real strong. Better than the heart.
Mm-hmm.
as good as mine. And that's not because of me. That's because there's whiskey at the end of my tour, and there's not whiskey at the end of theirs. So I win, right? Along with that as well, we are making a lot of alcohol. And alcohol at the beginning of our process is actually 140 proof, which is 70% ABV. So that's a flammable kind of deal. We actually use it as an accelerant on purpose. I'll tell you about that in a little while. But as far as just incidental, accidental kind of stuff, lighting that stuff up, you don't want that to happen. So we do not light a match the entire tour. Think about that one, right? No smoking because of that. Common sense tells you, but I'm obligated to mention no smoking. But also no e-cigarettes, no smoking. Another factor is photography. That's a concern that's also there. So there are some places we don't allow photos, not because it's secret or proprietary, but because we could blow ourselves up. So it's a small chance, but it's a chance. So we take the safe game. So if we're outside, you take all the photos you want. It is a walking tour. Make sure everybody's on the same page. We do walk and stand for about an hour and 10 minutes. It's a third of a mile distance. It's going to be 3 flights of stairs up and 2 flights of stairs down, which equals about 120 stair steps. And it's also summertime, so it's hot. It's hot outside, it's hot inside. And in fact, if you didn't realize what you signed up for, you signed up to see, feel, and smell Jack Daniel's Distillery. So it's going to get hotter. So there are some production areas that get up to about 20 to 30 degrees hotter than what it is right now. But that right there is what we'll start with, Barrel House 104. Inside there, it's probably about 120 Fahrenheit at the top of the building, but it's about 80 Fahrenheit at the bottom. No climate control, no insulation. The colder settles, the heat rises. So inside there, it's typically about a 30 to 40 degree temperature difference from bottom to top. So it's just a sheet metal building, corrugated sheet metal, no insulation, nothing like that. So they're pretty simple, but they do a big thing. All of your color comes from that barrel house, the way it works, and most of your flavor comes from the way that barrel house works. So I'll tell you outside more about it. But they all work generally the same way. No climate control, no insulation. But it does affect things as far as the size and shape of the building. So if you got one that tall, so much for your temperature change. If you got one that large, you travel side, because you grind it down smaller to be more surface area. So after the burn, take it, grind it down, push it down, and then use it that way instead. And I'll tell you more later. We'll talk about how we change it, when we change it, all that good stuff.
Hey Ben,
Yeah.
what's making it smell like chocolate chip cookies out here?
Do what?
The same thing.
What's making it smell like chocolate chip cookies out here?
Oh, it's us. It's fermentation and cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, we're using rye, corn, and barley. So it honestly smells like bread, cookies, biscuits. Yeah, that's us.
Okay.
Yeah, a lady one time said, "Who's making biscuits?" Yeah, I got a really cool provider. Once you pass that front desk, I'm trusting them that you're good to go. But actually, if you look really young and I just don't feel good about it, I'll check you. I'll say, pull it out and show me. Oh, we have people here all the time trying to sting the brand. They want us to sell them something and let them have a sample of it, and then they'll say, pull out that badge, we're shutting it all down. And they can do it. They could shut the whole distillery down. Family members, they run this place, honestly, as far as drive. This was the office and headquarters of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. So all these men on the wall ran the business out of here. So you got Jack Daniel above the mantle. He was 1866, came up here in the 1880s and made whiskey here ever since until 1911. And in 1911 he died, and it went to his nephew. Jack never had his own family, he never married, he never had children. So his nephews continued his legacy. So Lynn Motlow, the nephew of Jack Daniel, took over from 1911 to 1947, ran the office, ran the business from here. And then his sons also. So the right now is a 99% recycle, and we're going to be 0% landfill contribution by 2020. So rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling everything. But with the mash is actually one easy thing. It's in fact one of the longest running recycle programs we've had. Cattle farming, livestock, chickens, cows, pigs. When you're making black label and you need that standard, you're going to create black label to a certain kind of standard, certain color, certain flavor. But then once it hits that, you start mixing and mingling barrels together to get a consistent product. It's like building a puzzle. You take about 300 barrels of black label, put them together, and you've got one consistent thing every time. Come on in. Sampling tours. They said, well, let's put sampling rooms in this thing. So we did. So this end of it. Y'all signed up for the rare whiskey tour. This is stuff that most people have not had. In fact, there's a couple of them that most people have not seen because we don't sell them many places. No, come on in. We gotta drink some whiskey and get on out. What do you do with them? What's that? Oh, we don't sell them many places. We just sell them limited. Oh, really? Yeah, there's no whiskey there, so if y'all want it, find another spot.
I said I was so cold, though. I said I'm so cold. Try saying the wind.
This is some straight BS. Him. Some straight BS. B to the S.